Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Guys gotta eat. It's Hayden here. Day 2 of having a name for myself, and it feels great. Um, Today I got a haircut like all my videos had talked about previously. I'd really been wanting a haircut. This was longer, and it was making me feel very dysphoric of how feminine it was, despite the fact that the side and the back was already shaved. So I got a haircut at noon today, and I just had them shave the side too. The side's shaved back to being really short, and then this was thinned and shortened as well. And I'm pretty happy with it. Next time I think I'd go a bit shorter on this, because I know that in a week here I won't be able to stick up my bangs like this or anything like that. So I'd have to go back to the swooping, which isn't bad, but I feel like I would like to go shorter. So without the hair that's here, I've noticed a lot more facial dysphoria that I feel so far today. I can see my face clearly without any hair in front of it or anything. So sometimes I look at it and I see feminine sides, even though previously I always talked about how I always saw my face as masculine. But in some pictures I can see like feminine features that just kind of make me feel off about everything. Same thing, I kind of have like a baby face. It's really round. I look a lot younger than I am. And if you don't know, I'm 20 years old. I'm a junior in college. Basically look 14, 15 if I'm lucky. So that's something I have to deal with right now too, and I can see it a lot more. I want that jawline. I want that jawline so bad right now. Anyway, also, I've been wanting a binder, but it's kind of hard to bring up to my parents, especially since 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'm working in a deli at a grocery store in my town. So when my parents are gone at work, I'm home, and when I'm at work, they're home, and so we don't really have time to talk. And also, it's now been a full week since I came out to them. And, getting a haircut I had talked about was really, my stepmom was scared that I was rushing it for that. And so I feel like asking for a binder right now, she would freak out again. And I don't know how to really bring it up. So I think I'm going to talk to my therapist. Hopefully this week I'll talk to her. I called her this morning asking about an appointment, but she has yet to call back. So hopefully I'll have an appointment Thursday or Friday night. And maybe we can make an appointment with my parents to come too, so that kind of explain things there, because I really don't think my stepmom or my dad will go with my word for things. I think if my therapist talks about it and says, hey, this might help him, I don't want to be called him, this might help Hayden, so, you should consider this, you should help with this transition because it's not too fast, because I'm not doing anything that's permanent yet. I've got short hair. I've had short hair before. It's nothing new. And it grows back. I've had this shirt a while, which I really enjoy. But, they haven't bought me any guys' clothing other than anything that I already have. I'm not on testosterone. I don't have top surgery. So everything I'm doing right now is I can go back on. I'm not out fully to everyone. And if I were, I could go back on that as well. So I hope that maybe bringing them into a session with my therapist, it would help them understand more. Because yes, like I said before, they're supportive, but that's different from being understanding. So I want them to understand how I feel and what dysphoria feels like, even though my dysphoria right now isn't as extreme as a lot of people explain theirs to be. I'm fine with my chest on a general occasion, but sometimes I'm just like, why are these here? As of right now I'm wearing a old swim shirt that works pretty well. It's keeping, and I look pretty flat. So yeah, you can see that it's pretty flat on both sides. But it's not the safest thing, I'm sure. So I don't wear it out in public. I wear it sometimes in my room when I had one of these nights tonight. I randomly tried on a bunch of clothing that's more guyish. I had some dress shirts, I put on some ties just to get the feel of it, and I really enjoyed it. I took a lot of selfies, to be honest, which has something to do with confidence. I felt like I looked good, and so I took a lot of pictures. And so, like I said, I don't wear it outside. I don't wear it for more than an hour because it does restrict some breathing. But, it keeps it flat, and it gives me that idea of maybe what a binder would do for me. And, yeah, one of my fears I've been thinking about lately is coming out to my mom, because I said before I've come out to my stepmom and my dad. I've also come out to a few friends and my eldest brother, my second oldest brother, and my eldest sister, and my third eldest brother. I have a lot of siblings. I have 7 siblings. But that's besides the point. I've come out to a big chunk of my family, but I haven't come out to my mom or my stepdad. I haven't come out to my stepsister, though I'm not worried about her. And I haven't come out to my little brother or little sister. I don't know if they really would understand it. Maybe my little sister, who's 12, might understand it a little bit more, but I don't think my 11-year-old brother would fully know what it meant. So, but like I said, I'm kind of scared of coming out to my mom because she's always pressured me. She's always wanted me to be her little girl. She's always wanted me to have long hair and to dress like a girl and be what my older sister is and what my youngest sister is, and really feminine and really, I don't know. Just this year my mom said, if you don't grow out your hair and you don't maybe start wearing makeup, you're not going to find a guy. And what she doesn't realize now, I guess, what I hadn't realized was I had always had a guy, but not in the way that we thought. I've always had a guy inside of me. And maybe I haven't always felt like a guy, but that's okay. You don't always have to feel like a guy. You don't have to be 3 years old and think, I'm a guy. Why was I born a girl? But I've always wanted to be a guy. I always thought I would feel more confident in myself, in my looks as a guy. I would feel more confident socially because right now I can't walk up to someone and say anything. I usually walk past people and I don't even say excuse me because I'm so nervous. So I feel like as a guy, socially as a guy, passing as a guy, I think that I would be much more confident in social situations. I would be able to say things. I would be able to make new friends, that kind of thing. But back to my mom, she's always wanted me to be that perfect little girl, that really girly girl that all my sisters are. But that's not me. I'm Hayden. I'm not Cassie. because that's not how I am. That's not me. And like I said in my previous video, my stepmom believes that I am transgender because my friend came out as transgender, and so I caught symptoms of transgenderism, but that's not what it is. I was gonna go through another phase of trying to be that over girly girl, and I went on 2 dates with a guy, and it just felt off. It felt off the entire time. And so when my friend came out, I thought, that's something you can do. You can change into a guy, because I had done research before. I was like, oh cool, that's neat. For any of the transgender videos I had watched in previous years, I was like, oh, that's interesting, that's really cool, good for them. But it never hit me that it was an actual thing that I could do, that I could choose to transition into a guy, that I could transition into the person I've always wanted to be, the person I've always thought I was and thought that I couldn't be. I didn't know that was a choice. And so when my friend came out, I realized it is a choice. I can transition. And so I broke it off with that guy, and he's really understanding. He was willing to be friends, and he's great. And so it just, I hadn't realized that I had that choice. And it's hard for her to understand because it's so close to when my friend came out, that she thinks, oh, well, maybe he influenced it. Maybe Caitlyn Jenner influenced it, because transgender people are all over the media right now. But just because they're all over the media doesn't mean that it's an influence upon me that made me become transgender. It just means that the fact that it's all over the media gave me the confidence to think that I should become myself now. It gave me the realization that I was doing it wrong, and I was going to go into another unhappy loop, and I'm glad that it snapped me out of that, because I look at people now, I've always thought of, like, my future. I've imagined my future of, I don't know, 10 years from now, maybe I'm married, but never did I see myself in that image. Maybe I would see I would see it in first person. So I would see, maybe I'm married to a woman, maybe I'm married to a man. But when I was married to either or, I always had assumed, well, I guess there was no gender with me. I was like, I guess I'm a girl because that's what I was born. I never thought it was an option for me to change. So, but I realize now that's kind of really up in the air. I never saw myself in anything like that. I never imagined, I never dreamed with my name, with me. And so I think that's also a fact, like, you know. Sorry, that was a bit of a rant, and I don't know where I started, except for my mom. I gotta come out to her. I'm afraid that she is going to be upset, that she's going to feel like she's losing a daughter. I'm afraid that she'll cry. I'm afraid that she'll get mad. I'm afraid. And so I plan on taking my older sister with me, because my older sister is basically the best friend of my mom, and I feel like that would just be a good person to have around to help my mom understand it a bit better, to point out things from my childhood, from just my life, that indicate that I'm transgender. So I hope to do that in a week or two, whenever I can get my sister to go over there with me. So I'm hoping that goes well. I have no clue how my stepdad would take it, and frankly, I really don't care, because he's an asshole, and who knows how long he's gonna be in my life after my little brother and sister graduate high school. So, and he's very bigoted, and he very prejudiced, very racist, very everything. So maybe he'll be so against it, and he'll say so many jokes he thinks is funny, but whatever. I don't give two shits about him. But afraid of telling my mom. And my dad and my stepmom said that they would tell my grandma and they would explain it to her, which they did for when I originally came out as bisexual, but people thought that I came out as being a lesbian because it was my first real relationship. So, and it was with a girl, of course. And so my grandma and my grandpa apparently really didn't agree with it, but they loved me, and so that was that. But I don't know how they'll take me coming out as transgender. Hopefully they don't completely disown me or anything, and hopefully they're willing to use my name change and my pronouns, my correct pronouns. But we'll see about that. Yeah, those are my thoughts for now. That's today, June 16th, 2015, ending at 12:25 a.m. Till next time.